Tuck in, tuck in, tuck in. What's up, animal people? Oh, Jay, why are you wearing a suit and tie? Go follow me on TikTok and maybe scroll down a little bit. Anyway, today we're gonna do my first Q&A. Now I know these are totally overdone on YouTube, but I've always wanted to do a Q&A ever since starting a channel and even way before then. So just let me have this, dang it. Anyway, I was really curious as to if you guys had any questions for me. So about last week, I posted this video asking you guys for questions, and oh boy, you had a lot of questions. So today we're gonna try to answer them. I'm just gonna kind of read through them kind of quickly, try and get it all done in one video. If I can't, I'll make a part 2, but we'll just see how it goes. Play it by ear.
Hey kids, you see that right there? That's an underprepared YouTuber, and he recorded way too many questions in one take so that he could get all of them out before FWA, and left you with this incredibly long video to watch. Don't be like this. Be better.
Anyway, up first we got, would you do a fursuit suit-up video? I would love to do a fursuit suit-up video. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments. If there's like interest in it, I'll do it. Otherwise, I don't know. But yeah, I would love to do it. 1. Which Christian denomination do you belong to? So I don't really consider myself denominational. The church that I first started going to was like technically non-denominational, but they put like, I don't want to say which denomination because I honestly don't know, and I don't know what they stand for, but they put one for like tax purposes or like business or whatever, but the church I went to is really non-denominational. And so I haven't really like identified with a denomination yet, or if ever. 2, who made your fursuit? It looks nice. Thank you. My fursuit was made by Paciulio Fursuits. I really hope I'm saying that right. But I commissioned him in 2019, and I've had him ever since 2023, and I've been loving him ever since. So thanks, guys. What made you choose to have a fox persona? I like foxes. I do too. So what made me choose to have a fox persona is, like I talked about in one of my other videos, how I was a furry before I was a Christian, and back then I identified with foxes a lot. And then when I rediscovered the fandom, I kind of still felt called to like have a fox like persona in this community. So I just went with a fox, and there's like various other things that inspired the design. But yeah, like both my first introductions to the fandom, both as a non-Christian and as a Christian, were heavily involved in foxes. So I chose a fox. And I kind of felt like led to choose a fox too. Oh no, my iPad died. Oh yeah. What future plans are there for the channel and other stuff? So, do I really look like a guy with a plan? But seriously, I don't know. In the recent future, I'm definitely going to be doing like an FWA vlog type thing. I'm thinking about doing another FurCon Q&A where you guys ask me questions to ask convention goers. So I might do that. Definitely expect something from FWA, and then after that, I have a video in mind. Don't know if it'll come to fruition, but it's going to involve sharp things. So look forward to that. Outside of that, I don't really know. The channel's definitely growing, and I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. But we'll see. Like the Discord's also there. I don't know. We got a good thing going, so we're gonna kind of roll with it for now. We'll see where it goes though. What animal do you think?
The order, I can't really pronounce that. Master's person's persona would have, or would...
I'm illiterate. What animal do you think Theodore Masters Peterson's Fursona would be if he was a furry? So obviously I don't know who that is, but that's because I'm dumb. So I can't really say, but I'm just gonna give him a badger Fursona. Someone draw him as a badger. Whoever he is, he's a badger now. Arthur here. Hi, Arthur. What is your opinion on the Industrial Revolution? I just want to point out that this has 5 replies, so people are really passionate about the Industrial Revolution. But I think it was detrimental to the environment and really good for society, because we got like medicine out of it, and we got all this stuff that like advanced society and technology. But at the same time, it definitely came about a period where we had no idea that like things we did had an impact on the environment, and so we really screwed our planet over. Like, the Industrial Revolution was terrible for the planet, but great for humanity. So I don't know what I think about it. I mean, definitely wouldn't be standing here in a fursuit making this video if it weren't for the Industrial Revolution, so hard to say. But yeah, bad for the environment, good for humanity. What is your favorite movie and TV series? Okay, so there's a couple questions like this. I'm not a big TV guy, but one movie that I love is War of the Worlds, and oh man, it's one of those things I could just nerd out about for like no reason. It's like such a random thing, but I love like creepy alien movies, and it was done in a way, I'm talking about the like 2006 one with Tom Cruise, by the way. But it was done in like a way that like makes aliens really scary and creepy, and I like that. And like the original story, it's like based and inspired off of the original radio broadcast, which is really cool. And I don't know, like just the whole concept to me is fascinating. Hi, hope you're having a great day. So far so good. I hope you're having a great day. My question, if Jay weren't a fox, then what other animal would you choose him to be? Okay, so at one point I actually considered making Jay a foal. And that has like a similar thing to do with why I chose a fox, is because I also had like a connection to wolves in the past. And so I was like, well, maybe I could like combine those two personalities into my persona. I decided against it because of the draw I felt towards foxes. But a foal would be cool. So if he wasn't a fox, he would definitely be that. And if your criteria are like no fox allowed, like you can't be a fox at all, one I would seriously consider is a freak hound. I love freak hounds. They're so cool, and they're big spiky tails, and oh, they're awesome. When did you first become a Christian? So I became a Christian about sophomore year of high school is when I came to Christ, and it had to do with me like struggling with mental health issues such as like OCD, and I would kind of obsess over things about God without actually knowing God at all. And then when I started going to church and like learning about God, I'm like, oh wow, this isn't what I like thought it was. It's way better, and like I gave my life to Jesus, and that's kind of like how I got into it, was like just that curiosity from having all these issues, and then actually going and learning about Christ and God, and like having that Holy Spirit like enter your life and change you the way that most Christians do. That's when I started a relationship with Jesus, was in high school, about sophomore year, and it developed throughout those years too. Hey, just wanted to say you're very cool. Aw, thank you. You're very cool. My question is, what other creators have inspired you to do YouTube? Anyway, have a great day. Have a fantastic day yourself. Okay, great question. I like came into the fandom in kind of the like 2016, 2017 golden era, if you will, of like furry YouTube and Vine and stuff. So like people who inspired me were, I mean, really anyone on Vine, because I would watch like Vine compilations a lot. And this is like such a stereotypical thing to say, but absolutely Majira Strawberry, one of my biggest inspirations, one of the first YouTubers I started watching and really enjoyed. His fursuit, his personality, I just loved it. I still follow him. I really like his channel. You should definitely go check him out. He makes great stuff, and he's starting to make more great stuff. So yeah, he's one of the big ones. I kind of watched like Picari Roo back in the day, and I also liked Tigsy Twitch. She makes used to make really good videos. I don't know if she's making them anymore. But those are a few that I used to watch and really like and inspired me. So yeah, you have them to thank for having my face on your computer screen. What's your favorite movie, book, and TV series? Well, I already talked about my favorite movie. I don't really do a whole lot of reading outside of the Bible, except for like social media, obviously. Man, I'm such a basic freaking fox. I really like Breaking Bad. It's such a good show. I've like watched Breaking Bad, El Camino, Better Call Saul. I don't know. They're just like, the writing in those shows is really good. I also really like Beastars. That actually might be one of my favorites. And I'm really excited for season 3. What games do you play? So I play VR Chat is like the big one, and I also like sometimes have that typical Minecraft kick, you know? I didn't really play a lot of video games growing up, and so Minecraft was like one of the ones that I could download and play and had a lot of fun with, and so I still love that game. So, how was your faith walk coming into the furry fandom? Because for me, I know it was crazy because I have it mostly solved now. Yeah, so I'm sort of in a similar boat. It definitely was crazy. Like, I became a Christian before I became a furry, and then I found out what the furry fandom was, thought it was really cool and fun, and I spent a long time trying to navigate, like, okay, do I jump into this fandom the same way I would if I wasn't a Christian, or am I gonna just kind of enjoy it for the fun things like fursuiting and cons and stuff without like idolizing it like me before I came to Christ would have done. And so that's been my like main concern coming into the furry fandom, is navigating that. And it's still ongoing, but like I feel like over the years I've grown so much with like understanding how God like wants me involved in this fandom. Because like the part of me that like would idolize this stuff, I think is like dead with Christ, which I kind of talked about in the Christian video. And that's awesome. Like I can totally enjoy this fandom in a healthy way, I think. And I'm still working on that. But that's been my experience with my faith in the furry fandom. I've had keep dying. Do you think Ryan Reynolds is a furry? As of right now, I have no data or evidence to support this theory. However, we'll get our teams on it and get back to you. How much is your fursuit? So I appreciate the question. I don't typically talk about finances like online a lot, but if you really want to know, you can go to Pacquiulio Fursuit's website, look at their prices now. They've gone up significantly since I commissioned Jay, but you could get an idea of what one of these fursuits would cost now. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have a question? What are your interests outside of furry? Do you ever try to combine them with furry? That's a great question. So I've got a lot of weird hobbies. And I guess I'll just list some. I love snowboarding, freediving and spearfishing, mountain biking, and I just like hanging out with friends and stuff. And those are things that I can combine with furry. I've always wanted to do a snowboarding or skiing in fursuit video. I just haven't really had the opportunity to like get someone else who has, because skiing is really expensive. And most people I know, most furries I know, don't have like a season pass to a resort. So it's pretty hard for me to like get someone to help me film and handle and like just handling the logistics of wearing a fursuit and going skiing. Like I'd have to meet someone else who is into it in order to do it, but I've always wanted to make a YouTube video about it. And as far as like freediving and stuff, yeah, you can't really take a fursuit under salt water without destroying it. So sorry guys. How often do you wash the head/paws? That's a good question. I almost always wash the hand paws every time I wash the bodysuit because I can put them in the bathtub. I do the bathtub method for washing my suit, and I can like put a detergent on them and clean them that way. The head is really hard. I need to get myself a carpet cleaner for it because that's probably going to be the best way to go about it. I have in the past just like gotten a wet towel and soap and like scrubbed down the whole head, but I feel like that might not get it as deeply cleaned as I want and I can't really do a submerging clean because like you're not supposed to do that with this type of head. And also I disinfect, like after I film this video and another TikTok I'm gonna film, I will disinfect the paws and the head and stuff just with like rubbing alcohol or something. Did you make your fursuit or did you commission? So no, I commissioned him. Yeah, Pacquiulio Fursuits, I commissioned him in 2019. I wish I was good enough at like sewing and stuff to make this. What got you into the furry fandom? I kind of talked about this a little bit already, but I discovered the furry fandom on YouTube. I found Vine comps and Majira Strawberry videos, and that's what got me, like that's what made me aware of the fandom, and so that's kind of what started like the process of me getting involved. What made you decide to be a furry? Pretty much the same question, but again, it was like a several year process of like debating on how to get into it and all that, and also just discovering it on YouTube is kind of what like got me into it. I just want to be sure, if we meet in person, is it okay if I can have a hug and a piggyback ride? So yeah, if you ever meet me at a con, feel free to come up and ask for a hug. I don't know about a piggyback ride, but I'm definitely not saying no. But you should always, I mean, with this kind of thing, it's probably best if you see a fursuiter that you want to like hug or interact with, maybe just like wait till you see them in person and go up to them and say like, hey, I really like your content, or like, hey, I recognize you. Is it okay if I have a hug? And then like talk to them, kind of get to know them, you know, or you could even just go up and ask them, like if you want to do fun stuff like that at cons. But yeah, definitely always ask for that. But yeah, for me, the answer is yes. I mean, don't just do it randomly. Come up and talk to me. But yeah, I always love stuff like that at cons. Are you also attending fur cons outside of the USA? For example, the Eurofurence Con in Germany. I have no plans to as of right now, but I would love to get to Eurofurence one day because it looks like a lot of fun. And I've actually never been outside of the country, so just traveling in general would be cool. So yeah, as of right now, unfortunately, no, I'm not attending abroad conventions, but I would definitely love to. Why did a furry tell me that I should be one? She also told me you can't get charged for the same crime twice after I told her how people at school kept calling me one. This really sounds like a personal issue. I can't speak for that furry that talked to you. I have no idea why someone would want you to be a furry if you don't want to be one. But basically, the takeaway is you can be a furry if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. I mean, just move on with your life. Most notable achievement in life thus far. I would have to say graduating with a bachelor's degree in cellular molecular biology. I'm going to be doing that this spring, and I'm excited about it. And it was probably one of the hardest things I've done in my academic career, so that's going to be my answer. Why and how did you become a furry, and why a fox? So I definitely talked about this earlier, just discovering the fandom online and YouTube, and a fox because, I don't know, they're cool. Can we be friends? Okay, so think about this question. I don't know, like if you want to be friends with somebody, then just like hit them up, like very real casual, and ask them how their day is going. I don't know, just see if like, I mean, it's the same thing as what you would do in real life. Like has anyone ever walked up to you on the street and you've never seen them before and they just go like, can we be friends? Like it just doesn't really happen. And it's kind of the same thing online. Like people will probably want to talk to you and might even want to be your friend. But if you just like hit them with it out of the blue, they'll be like, wait, what? If you were your fursona, what would be the most annoying thing that would come with it? Oh man, I can think of a couple of things, and one of them is fur. Like just having fur all over your body. If you think about everything you do in a day with like going outside and like walking in dirt and doing all this stuff that we do on a daily basis, your fur would be a mess. And like, can you imagine trying to shower and then being like, okay, it's time to put on the shampoo, but the shampoo has to go all over your whole body. I feel like that would be such a hassle. Also tails. I mean, like, these things don't exactly fit very well, like when you sit down and stuff. So, like getting in a car, there'd be so many emergency room trips where people get in their car and they like slam their tail in the door. Are you cool? No, I'm quite hot actually. I've been wearing this suit for a long time and it's that time of the year again. Get a life. Get a question. Okay guys, well that's all the questions I had this time. Thank you so much for watching. This was kind of another rambly video, but I like doing it. It was fun. I'm so glad I got to do my first Q&A, and I'm so glad I got to answer your questions. Thank you guys so much for asking them and all the support. I really appreciate it. And I'm probably gonna get this one out in one video, so yay.
Hey, me again. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? But this time I'm here to answer the question that this imbecile missed. It comes from Crim the Protogen, who asks, as a furry, is there no way to stop hate comments, or do hate comments just come with being a furry? So yeah, this is a great question, but it makes me really sad because people are trying to like go out online and have fun and be in the community and post things, and then they have to deal with other people saying really stupid, hateful, mean things to them. And if you guys know me, you know I'm a bit of a weirdo, and I think a lot of hate comments are funny, and so I like post videos about them and stuff. But a lot of hate comments are hurtful, and really they're all mean-spirited. So it's kind of unfortunate that people are having to deal with this. And to answer the question, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, yeah, if you're gonna post furry content, you can probably expect some people to say hateful things to you. But I want to encourage you, first off, by saying don't let what other people think dictate what you do, because that really just means that they win, right? I mean, a lot of these comments come from a really immature place, and if they could like stop people from being furries, then they would. But honestly, at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter. And one thing I want to say to encourage you is that for every one hate comment that I've gotten, I have at least like 10 that are just like, oh my gosh, I love your stuff. Your stuff is so cute. They're like super positive. So try not to focus on the negative. It can be easy to do. What I try and do sometimes when like hate comments are getting me down is just look at the ratio. Like, okay, if I get 5 hate comments in like a month, that means I get like 50 positive comments. Like, it's pretty disproportionate as long as you're being true to yourself and like doing, you know, what you like to do. There's a lot of other furries out there that are going to appreciate that. And then for every 10 of them, there's like one hater who's going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. Thanks for the question. Sorry I missed it. And if any of you guys asked questions after I recorded, I probably missed them. I'm sorry, but I'm sure this will not be the last Q&A that I'll be doing. So stay tuned, and thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.